Hi everyone, it's Roland Kym here with your August 2025 Greater Vancouver real estate market update. This month the data shows a balanced but cautious market. Sales are inching up, prices are easing, and inventory is sitting pretty well above normal levels. And when we compare today's numbers not only to last year's numbers but the 10-year average, it really does give us some perspective. So what we're going to cover is immigration, the job market, the Bank of Canada, and what is it all turning into. In August, we saw 1,959 home sales across Greater Vancouver. Compared to last year, that's a 2.9 increase. Compared to the 10-year average of 2,424 sales, for August, we're down 19%. But by property type, detached homes saw sales of 575, up 13% year over year, but still below typical levels. Townhomes saw 409 sales, up 10.5% and closer to historic averages. Condos saw 956 sales, down 5.5% and notably softer than the long-term seasonal norms. So sales are improving compared to last year's slowdown, but the long-term comparison shows that we're still running well behind normal markets. On the supply side, new listings are at 4,225 in August. That's a 2.8% higher than last year, and just 1.3% above the 10-year average of about 4,172. So new supply is right in line with long-term norms. Active listings are at 16,242 at the month's end. That's a 17.6% increase versus last year, and that is an incredible 37% higher than the 10-year average in August of around 11,862 listings. So this surge in active inventory is the biggest difference comparing us in the long-term trends versus year over year. Buyers now have significantly more choices than usual for this time of year. The sales to active ratio tells us the market tells us how hot the market is. August overall ratio was 12.4%. So if we look at segments, that means detached homes saw 9.3%, below the 12% threshold, signaling a buyer's market condition. Townhomes were at 15.8%, signaling a balanced market condition. Condos were at 14%, also signaling balance, but it really felt more like a buyer's market. So for context, August ratios often sit above 20% in hotter years. So today's 12% range is well below the long-term average, confirming a much calmer, a more balanced market than Vancouver buyers and sellers have been used to for a long time. Now on to the prices. The benchmark composite price is $1,150,400. That's down 3.8% year over year and down 1.3% from July. Historically, August usually sees sales flatten or slightly balance. So the decline is weaker than the 10-year seasonal trend. By property type, the average price for a detached home is $1,950,300, which is down 4.8% year over year. Townhouses is $1,079,600, which is down 3.5% year over year. The average condo price is $734,400, which is down 4.4% year over year. So prices in all categories are underperforming compared to the 10-year seasonal patterns, and we're normally expecting stability and modest gains kind of far in the future at this point. Across the region, detached homes are feeling the most pressure with ratios well below historic norms. Townhomes are closer to balanced and closer to typical norms, reflecting the long-term resilience and that the real average Canadian or Vancouver home owner is looking for townhomes. Condos are soft relative to their historic August averages as more supply is building up, especially downtown. Regionally, luxury markets like West Vancouver are slower than their norms. Suburb markets like Surrey and Burnaby are holding closer to 10-year averages, especially in townhomes and condos. Now, when we look at the broader economic context, immigration, my gosh, how much lower it is than just a year or two ago. Canada has cut its immigration trends, and BC has added only 251 newcomers in quarter one for the month. Compare that to thousands in the past years. Historically, population growth has been a strong driver of our housing, and that is down right now. So it's way below normal. Unemployment, Canada's unemployment rate rose dramatically to 7.1% in August, and that is the highest in nearly a decade outside of COVID. In BC, it's 6.2%, up from July. Historically, BC unemployment hovers around 5%, so job insecurity really is higher than average, and that is also contributing to the weakening demand. Interest rates, the Bank of Canada's rate sits at 2.75%, and the next meeting is in September 17th. Historically, August interest rates over the past decade have averaged closer to 1.5%, so today's 2.75% is still well above normal, keeping borrowing expensive and also adding to the cooler market. So all three of these indices of immigration, jobs, and interest rates are making me believe that probably interest rates will be coming down, and that is adding downward pressure on the housing market for sure. So putting it all together, sales are a little bit better than they are this time last year, but well below the 10-year average. Listings are normal, but active inventory is far above long-term levels. Prices are easing, underperforming the typical August trend, and prices will continue to show downward pressure into the third quarter and first quarter of 2026. Immigration is weak, unemployment is high, interest rates are elevated. So short term, expect a balanced market with mid downward pressure through late 2025. Medium term in 2026, it's also going to be downward pressure, maybe with a slight rebound by the end of the year, but we're going to be well off our typical 10-year norms and trends. So to wrap it all up, Vancouver's market today looks very different compared to its 10-year average. Sales are low, inventory is high, and prices are easing. This is a moment of opportunity for buyers like I haven't seen in my career, and a test of strategy for sellers. And all eyes are on September 17th when the Bank of Canada makes its next move. That decision could be pivotal in pointing the direction for the rest of 2025 in the market and as well for 2026. So if you'd like to know more about how these trends compare to your neighborhood, 10-year averages, or how to navigate today's market, please reach out to me. I'm glad to help. My name is Roland Kym, residential realtor in Greater Vancouver. Thank you.